King of the Mountain.
Welcome to King of the Mountain Season 4, Tournament number 4.
First up tonight, we have Jack in the Ford Sierra Cosworth.
Then driving for Rotary Riot, all the way from Miami, Florida, is Elizabeth in the Mazda RX-7.
Then driving for Dr. Dodge's Sisters of Heavy Metal, it's Becky in the Chevy El Camino.
The Sisters of Heavy Metal.
Rock on, baby.
And last up, driving in the Toyota AE86, we have Lee Tang of Diecast.
Lee Tang in the house.
Oh, you know Lee Tang.
No, but what's going on in the back of that El Camino?
It appears it's been converted into a hot tub.
Is that going to be good or bad for racing?
Well, we're about to find out. They are off for the first race. As stated in the news recently, Race City has removed the overpass in favor of wider lanes.
It makes sense. I like it.
Jack out in front in the Ford Sierra Cosworth. Elizabeth back there in second. Jack first through the garage. And this is going to be an easy win for Jack with a 14-second time.
Whoa.
Wow, that is fast.
Jumping Jack Flash is moving out there.
That 14 flat time will tie Jack with the record set by Arlo Racing in Tournament 3.
Way to go, Jack.
Looks like Lee Tang decided to stop over there by the Fujiwara tofu shop.
He might be picking up an order.
He's supposed to be racing.
Well, I may or may not have asked him to pick up some tofu on the way down just because,
Why do you always seem to be interfering with the races?
He's driving a Toyota 86, so I thought, hey, initial D, tofu delivery, live the dream, Lee Tang, live the dream.
Well, that dream has resulted in a DNF for Lee Tang. Jack currently has 5, Elizabeth has 3, and Becky has 2. Elizabeth starting here in the pole position. Jack popped a wheel up on the barrier back there. There may be a pothole in that lane that we have to have inspected.
Well, Race City and their non-union labor.
That is true. Elizabeth heading through the garage. Jack currently in second, followed by Lee Tang. And Elizabeth will take the win on race 2 with a track time of 15.17 seconds.
I'm a little concerned about these safety fences.
It's going to provide a much safer experience for these fans.
Yeah, but what about my fatality button?
It's time to move on from that, Tootie.
But I don't want to move on.
I know, it's hard. But the fatality gag, it had its run for a good amount of time.
I like the sound of it and pressing the button itself.
Maybe we'll find a new button for you, one that says, safety.
Safety.
I don't know, I'm just spitballing here.
We need to bring back the fatality, 3D.
2D, you already know about the legal case that we had with Baby Milton.
I know.
You lost the race to him.
He cheated.
It doesn't matter. Now we have fences, and we're going to have our first ever fatality-free tournament.
That sounds fun.
It will be. Here we go with race 3. Jack starting in lane 3, pulls ahead of Lee Tang. Elizabeth is back in third, followed by Becky. Jack absolutely dominating here in race 3. He's through the garage. No one even close to him. And Jack, whoa!
Wait a minute.
Oh, God.
Wait a minute. Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, we have a
Fatality.
in your face safety fence.
Oh, God. This was supposed to be a fatality-free tournament.
Hey, this button ain't going nowhere, 3D.
Was that guy leaning over the track or something?
It's just the law of nature, 3D. You can't stop it. You can't change it. You have to just accept it. King of the Mountain and fatalities go hand in hand.
That guy jumped onto the track. Play it again.
Hold on, here's a finisher. Boom.
Okay, you're taking way too much pleasure in this guy's suffering.
What are you talking about? That guy is having the time of his life, or the opposite of that.
Okay, watch closely here. Okay, see that right there? I think he was trying to jump out of the way, but he got confused and jumped forwards instead of backwards.
And that's why I'm nominating Yellow Shirt Guy for this year's Darwin Award.
This whole show is becoming a meme. Here we go with the 4th and final race. Jack on top with 13. Elizabeth in second with 11. Becky with the hot tub El Camino has 3. And Lee Tang in the green Toyota 86 has 2.
A very sad score.
Jack out in front, followed by Lee Tang. Elizabeth trying to get into second place. Lee Tang spins out back there. It looks like this is going to go to Jack. First through the garage. And this is over. Jack with a time of 14.57 seconds will be moving on to King of the Mountain Season 4, Tournament number 4.
And look at that, we got a triple DNF in the parking garage.
Yeah, this was not a good race for Lee Tang or Becky. Jack, on the other hand, was only one race away from having a clean sweep here tonight.
Hey, I'm just happy we had a fatality.
Are you even listening to yourself?
Not really, I'm just talking.
We're trying to improve our public image here, and that's not helping.
I'm sorry. Thoughts and waivers to the Yellow Shirt Guy.
Yes, thoughts and waivers. There you have it, Jack of Jack, John, and Katie Racing. We'll be moving on to the tournament.
King of the Mountain.
Welcome back to King of the Mountain. Up first tonight, we have John Alexander of Spoolheads Racing.
John driving in that Audi Sport Quattro.
Then up next, we have Leo of 409 Diecast Racing.
Leo's riding in that GNX with Anita Baker in the tape deck.
Then we have Rock Hammer.
We got the Rock?
I think it's a different Rock.
You sure about that?
Well, Rock Hammer's from Canada.
Okay, never mind.
And he's driving for Coal Hills Racing.
Okay, and last up we have Summer Pan of Grumpy Cloud Racing.
Summer Pan driving in that baby blue Lamborghini Countach.
Ooh, a Countach. That sounds so French.
It's an Italian car.
Well, bonjour to you too.
Okay, well, here we go with race 1 of 4. John Alexander starting this race in the pole position. Alexander out in front. Leo in the blue GNX right on his side. It's a close race between the blue cars. Leo looking to close the gap on that Audi Sport Quattro. John Alexander able to maintain that distance between him and second place and takes the win on race 1 with a track time of 14.79 seconds.
A clean finish there by everyone in the intersection. You know, I think we could probably take these fences back down now.
And you know that can't happen.
Don't fence me in, man. Don't fence me in.
What are you talking about? You're up here in the towers. You're not even behind the fence.
I'm speaking for the people down there, okay?
They can speak for themselves, and I'm sure they feel more safe now.
They need a voice, and I will be their voice. Don't fence us in.
Other racing events do this all the time when they race on the streets. They put up fences.
Yes, but this is King of the Mountain. We have a legacy to continue on here, to pass on to our children and our children's children.
You're not going to be passing anything on if you get hit by a car.
It's survival of the fittest, 3D.
This is a family-friendly event. This shouldn't be about survival.
I'm just saying, maybe Race City doesn't need Baby Milton.
Okay, you're going to get us into legal trouble again.
I take no pleasure in saying
Just focus on the racing, okay? Leo is out in front. There's a close race between John Alexander and Rockhammer, and Leo takes the win on race 2. Whoa! Speaking of safety fences, I believe we just saw a potential fatality stopped by the fence.
Hooray, allow me to press the button of silence.
Did you press it?
It's a button of silence, 3D. It makes no sound.
Why would you buy a button of silence?
I was trying to make a point.
Are you sure it's not just a defective button?
It might be, but that's not the point.
Look, if you need help, I can order a button that actually works for you.
It's not about having a button, it's the button.
Okay.
We had a whole community built around that button, and now it's gone.
You got to press the fatality button last week, so stop complaining.
Well, I could have pressed it again today, but we got fences.
Oh, get over it. Here we go with race 3. Leo in the blue GNX currently on top of the scoreboard with 8 points. John Alexander, who's out in front, has 7. Some nice drift action there by John Alexander. Makes it around the Fujiwara turn, into the garage. And John Alexander will pick up the win on race 3 with a track time of 15.88 seconds. Rockhammer is going to come in second place on that one, followed by Leo. And Summer Pan is stuck over on the bridge in the Lamborghini Countach.
That Lamborghini appears to be all show and no go. 1 point so far for Summer Pan.
Yeah.
That's sad.
There must be a grumpy cloud raining over that car today.
A grumpy cloud?
The race team is Grumpy Cloud Racing.
Oh, okay, I got it.
The scores going into the 4th and final race are John Alexander with 12, Leo has 10, Rockhammer has 8, and Summer Pan, of course, has that 1.
So sad.
Here we go with the 4th and final race. Summer Pan starting in the pole position on this one. Maybe Pan can add 1 more point to that score.
That would still be a very sad score.
Yes, here we go. John Alexander surging out in front. Leo behind in second place. Trying to catch up to the speed. Whoa! We got contact. Leo trying to pass around the Audi.
Oh, boy,
wait a minute.
there it is.
Whoa! Rockhammer goes high, passes on the outside lane. And this race surprisingly is going to go to Rockhammer, followed by Summer Pan.
What? How'd that happen?
That's a shocker. Here comes Leo. Wait a minute. No. John Alexander passes him on the bridge. Let's wait for the final score here. And John Alexander wins tonight's race by 1 point over Rockhammer.
Wow, that was a very close race in points at the end there.
Yes, it was. Let's see the replay. Alexander pulls too hard to the left there. You can see Leo trying to shove that Audi out of the way, but John Alexander continues to block. And then look at Rockhammer goes high on the turn, passing both cars to take the win. And I'll tell you what, if Leo had beat John Alexander to the line, we would have a tie here tonight.
And if we didn't have these safety fences, we could have had a fatality as well.
That's a positive thing. The safety fences are working.
Hooray.
There you go. John Alexander will join Jack in Season 4, Tournament number 4, with a track time of 14.79 seconds.
King of the Mountain.
Welcome back to King of the Mountain.
Up first tonight is DD of Big Al's Custom Diecast in the Ford Sierra Cosworth.
Then driving in that Honda CRX is Nick Eulis of Team Herminator.
Is that a typo?
No, I believe it is Herminator.
Oh.
Up next, all the way from Italy, is Gerardo Pastore driving in the Chevy Monte Carlo SS.
And last up in the Ferrari 308 GTB, we have Wolfie Madhouse of Black Raven Racing.
A good little mix of 80s cars right here. We got the Ford, Honda, Chevy, and Ferrari taking the track tonight.
I'd be cautious of standing near that Ford or Ferrari. They have a bad reputation in King of the Mountain.
Well, no need to fear. The safety fences are here.
Oh, goody. Safety fences.
Nick Ulis in the lead, followed by Didi. A rough entry into that turn. Didi trying to catch up to Nick Ulis.
Go, little Honda, go.
Didi on the hunt here, going into the garage. We've got some contact. And Nick Ulis will hold Didi off to take the win on race 1 with a track time of 15.32 seconds.
Nice job there by Nick Ulis in that Honda CRX. You know I love hatchbacks.
That will put 5 points on the board for Nick Ulis. But what happened to Wolfie?
I think Wolfie might be trying to get that Wookiee in the garage.
Not that again.
I thought Race City cleared all that shady business that was going on back there.
You never really know what's going on in that garage.
And notice it's a Ferrari driver doing it. Very typical.
Well, that's going to result in a DNF for Wolfie, 0 points on race 1. Right now, Nick Ulis and Didi are looking like the top competitors in this race. Here we go. They are lined up for race 2. Nick Ulis will be starting in the pole position. Didi starting all the way on the right.
Wait a minute, DD. That's 2 Ds, right?
Yes.
So wait a minute, is that me racing?
No, you're right here next to me. How can that be you racing?
Hey, I've been watching shows on parallel universes. That right there could be me and that Ford Cosworth from a different universe.
I don't think so, but this is an intense race right here. Didi once again trying to get around Nick Ulis, but not able to. And that will be Nick Ulis's second win in a row.
Aw, man, I just can't get around that Honda.
I highly doubt that's you from a different universe.
There's a 50-50 chance that we're living in a simulation right now.
So now we're in a simulation?
Well, it's a 50-50 chance. Who knows, this whole racing thing might not even be real.
So now we're going back to your whole cars don't have drivers theory.
It's a hypothesis at this point, not a theory.
Okay.
But I am working on getting an independent study done on that.
Well, let us all know how that goes on your podcast. Here we go with race 3. Nick Ulis currently on top of the scoreboard with 10 points. Didi in second with 6 with 2 races to go. And here they go down the track for race 3. Didi out in front, followed by Nick Ulis. It's pretty much been a 2-car race so far. Nick Ulis getting into the side of Didi.
Didi with the block move right there.
Nick Ulis not giving up, trying to catch back up to that Ford Sierra Cosworth. They're through the garage, and Didi this time will take the win with a time of 15.77 seconds.
I did it that time.
It was Didi who did. You know what? You did it.
Thank you.
And it looks like we have a double DNF. This time it's Gerardo Pastore and Wolfie getting stuck right at the entrance of the garage.
See that? Now Wolfie's getting Gerardo caught up in the Wookiee.
Hopefully not, but that was another great race between Nick Ulis and Didi. Didi pulling a hard block maneuver on Nick Ulis back there. That win will bring Didi's score up to 11. Just 2 points behind Nick Ulis, who has 13 with 1 race to go. Didi has somewhat of an advantage here starting in lane 2. Nick Ulis starting in lane 3.
Those are some sad scores for Gerardo and Wolfie.
Yeah, after 3 races, they have 5 points collectively.
Very sad.
Here we go, 4th and final race. Didi slightly ahead of Nick Ulis. Didi first through the big 180 turn, pretty clean there. Nick Ulis back in second place, but is losing ground here.
Nick Ulis sliding around that last turn.
Yeah, Nick Ulis having a lot of trouble in this race. Didi will take the win with a 14.4. Oh, my goodness.
And here comes Wolfie with the finisher.
Man, they just abused that Honda CRX.
You got to put him in his place.
And wait a minute, look at that score. We have a tie between Nick Ulis and Didi.
Yes, our first tie of the tournament.
That means Didi in the Ford Sierra Cosworth and Nick Ulis in the Honda CRX will be competing in a tiebreaker race.
Nice, a race to the death.
Not a race to the death, just a tiebreaker race.
To the death.
No.
Maybe?
No, it's just a race.
I'm just trying to hype it up here.
I think a tiebreaker race-off is hyped up enough.
It could use a little more danger, but whatever.
Okay, they are up at the start. The tiebreaker will be 2 races. If we still have a tie score at the end of the race, the driver with the fastest track time of the night will advance on.
This is exciting. This is the first tiebreaker race I've ever been in.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
It's a close race here. Nick Ulis currently in the lead. Nick first into the corner. Didi not far behind. A tap on the wall there sends Nick into a slide. Didi struggling to keep up with Nick Ulis. Here they come down the final straight over the bridge. And Nick Ulis takes the win on race 1 with a track time of 16 seconds. Not a very fast time.
Come on, Didi. We still have a chance. Pick up that pace.
Nick Ulis really showing his speed there and outpacing Didi, overcoming the inside lane advantage that Didi had from the pole position. Let's see what happens when these two switch lanes.
Maybe lane 2 is the faster lane.
I don't think so. Also, the reason the drivers are starting from the left 2 lanes is those two lanes have been determined to be the most balanced on this track.
Okay, Dee Dee, let's do it for Big Al's Custom Diecast. Let's do it for the multiverse.
Here we go. They are off. They have switched lanes. Niculus out in front. Like I said, those two lanes are very balanced. Contact there around the turn. Dee Dee falling behind here in the race.
Come on, Dee Dee, come on.
There's one turn left through the garage. And Niculus wins the tiebreaker race to move on with a track time there of 15.06 seconds.
Well, I guess we can't win them all.
It seems like you're not a very good racer in any universe.
Hey, I'm sure there's a universe out there where I'm just great.
Yeah, somewhere like way out there.
There has to be a path where I'm like a racing legend, like Stephen King level, Big Air Dylan, legendary status.
Well, in this universe, I guess you just landed on being a commentator.
I don't see you winning trophies.
No, but I didn't lose to a baby.
He cheated, and everybody knows that he cheated.
And Niculus will be moving on to the 4th tournament of King of the Mountain Season 4 with a track time of 15.06, which currently ranks him as the 3rd seed.
King of the Mountain.
Welcome back. It's time for qualifying group number 4.
Up first from New Zealand, we've got Jelly of Give It the Beans Garage.
Then in the green Porsche 944 Turbo, it's El Nurbo coming all the way from France.
I think we've seen El Nurbo before.
I believe so.
Next to El Nurbo, we've got Big Joe of Big Joe's Racing, riding in that Buick Regal GNX.
And last up, this is a special one. We've got a Ford Fairmont Futura driven by La Patty.
Patty coming from Northridge, California.
Here we go. 2 Fords, a Porsche, and a Buick enter a race. Which one is going to win?
You know what? I got to go for my man Jelly in the RS200. Give it the beans, Jelly. Give it the beans.
Jelly starting this race in the pole position. Here they go into the merge. El Nurbo goes for the pass around the outside, makes it around Jelly.
He's sliding all over the place.
El Nurbo driving in reverse, and Jelly takes the lead back.
Go, Jelly, go. Give it the beans.
Jelly giving it the beans across the bridge and will take the win on race 1 with a track time of 15.5 seconds. What an exciting way to start off tonight's race.
We had 2 passes on that one.
El Nurbo ends up finishing in 3rd after being in the lead for a short section of the track. Let's go to the instant replay here. El Nurbo was able to beat Jelly to that big 180 turn, but you can see he oversteered coming out of it, spun around, ended up heading down the track in reverse. Now here's the mistake he made. He decided to correct it and spin back around. That opened up the door for both Jelly and Big Joe to make it around his car, sending El Nurbo back to 3rd place.
And that is a lesson he would have learned if he had attended the Crazy Jimmy School of Driving.
He probably would have benefited from that.
Crazy Jimmy teaches that once you spin around, you keep going down.
Here we go with race 2 of 4 with El Nurbo moving to the pole position.
My man Jelly all the way on the right in lane 4.
El Nurbo takes the early lead, followed by Big Joe. Jelly currently back in 3rd place. Big Joe blocking around the corner back there. Whoa!
Remember, once you spin around, keep going down, El Nurbo.
Here comes Jelly trying to catch up to El Nurbo.
Give it those beans.
They're through the final turn. Contact! It's a fight to the finish. And that was a close win for El Nurbo, who just barely beats Jelly to the line.
Another action-packed race right there.
Jelly and El Nurbo really putting on a show here for the fans tonight.
If only that fence wasn't blocking their view.
I'm sure they can see through it.
Oh boy, here we go again in the garage.
Not another customer for, what do you call it again?
The Wookiee.
Yeah, that's really messing up some of these drivers.
It's hard to stop once you start.
Well, here's the replay. This time El Nurbo seemed to learn from his mistake. I mean, not the mistake of spinning around, but this time he did not try to correct it, kept going in reverse.
That's right, once you spin around, keep going down.
Well, that seemed to work out pretty good for him this time.
Well, the Crazy Jimmy School of Driving teaches that the best way to see your opponent is to stare him straight in the eyes.
Why are you staring at me?
I don't know, why am I?
I'm not your opponent, we're working together.
I'm just giving you an example, 3D, calm down.
You're still staring at me.
It's pretty intimidating, right?
It's making me feel uncomfortable right now.
And that's why Crazy Jimmy is a champion.
Okay, we'll stop it now. Here we go with race 3. Jelly out front in the lead, El Nurbo right behind in 2nd.
Jelly up there giving it those beans.
Whoa, Jelly spins around, gets pushed out of the way by El Nurbo. And here comes Big Joe trying to pass. And El Nurbo will take it past the finish line to win his 2nd race of the night.
Man, this is an action-packed night here for King of the Mountain.
Absolutely some great driving by these competitors. El Nurbo now on top of the scoreboard with 12, 2 points ahead of Jelly. Let's go to the replay right here. You can see Jelly had a nice lead going into this turn, but he enters at a bad angle, spins around. El Nurbo up on the outside pushes Jelly out of the way. That also makes room for Big Joe to make it around Jelly's car, giving Jelly only 2 points on that race.
I think Jelly may have given it too many beans.
You don't want to overdo it on the beans.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir here, man. I know all about that.
Here we go, final race. 12 points on the board for El Nurbo. Jelly has 12. Big Joe has 8. And La Patty is starting in the pole position. Jelly leading the pack down the straight here. El Nervo in second, everyone else pretty far behind. Whoa! El Nervo makes the pass around Jelly after Jelly spun out on that turn.
Too many beans, man. Too many beans.
El Nervo first through the garage, and this race is over. El Nervo wins the final race with a time of 15.7 seconds. And we'll be moving on to the tournament.
I think we all learned a lesson here tonight. The first lesson was a freebie from Crazy Jimmy's School of Driving. Once you spin around, you keep going down. Very good, 3D. You're a fast learner. And lesson number 2, too many beans can be a bad thing.
Wow, this show has become very educational all of a sudden.
Hey, it's our responsibility to teach the next generation.
Well, I hope they appreciate that.
Uncle 2D knows best.
Well, there you have it. El Nervo is advancing on to the tournament with a track time of 15.7 seconds, currently qualifying him in 4th place.
King of the Mountain.
Welcome back to King of the Mountain. Up first tonight, we have Fancy of Easterham Racing in the Ferrari Testarossa.
Then driving in the Toyota Corolla AE86 Sprinter Terreno, we have Tatten.
Or Tayton. Then next to him in the white Chevy Monte Carlo Aero Coupe, it's Juicy Juice from Panorama City, California.
And last up, and possibly least,
It's definitely possible.
it's Speedball Herman from Gravity Throttle Racing.
All right, we've got a Ferrari, a Toyota, a Chevy, and a Porsche. Let's see who's going to be moving on to the next round.
Still no Mustangs, huh?
You actually want to see Mustangs race now?
Well, the old fatality button's getting a little dusty, so.
They are off for the first race with Fancy way out in the lead. Whoa, Fancy gets sideways.
I think that Ferrari has Mustang tendencies.
We've got Tayton chasing down Fancy here. I am not sure if that little Toyota can keep up with that Ferrari.
Now that Ferrari is gone.
And Fancy will take the win on race 1 with a track. Oh!
I'm telling you, Mustang tendencies going on out there.
Speedball Herman getting popped up in the air there as he comes in 4th place. Juicy Juice comes in 3rd, right behind Tayton.
Now, is it Taten or Tatten?
I'm going with Tayton.
Hey, you say Taten, I say tomato.
It's definitely not tomato.
Yeah, I guess it could be tomato.
Okay. Well, you're messing up my flow now.
Deep breath, deep breath. There it is. There it is.
Okay, stop it. Here we go with race 2. This time Tayton will be starting in the pole position. Juicy Juice in lane 2, Speedball Herman in 3, and Fancy all the way on the far right lane. Tayton in the Toyota in the lead so far. Speedball Herman pulls into 2nd, followed by Fancy. We've got ourselves a 3-car race going on. Speedball Herman gets spun around back there.
Remember, Herman, once you get spun around, keep going down.
Tayton will take the win on race 2, and that was an extremely close finish for 2nd. I believe Speedball Herman took it going in reverse.
Yes, he did.
That's going to be a 2nd place finish for Speedball Herman on that run, and that win is going to move Tayton up to the top of the scoreboard. Let's go to the instant replay. You can see here we had a nice 3-car race going on down the track, but watch as they go into this next turn here. Speedball goes for the block, ends up spinning all the way around, continued to go down the track in reverse, and then had an incredibly close finish with Fancy.
I always like to see some good backwards driving going on in King of the Mountain.
The drivers are lined back up, and they are off for race 3. This time we have Speedball Herman side by side with Fancy. A close race into the corner. We got contact. Fancy comes out of it ahead. Speedball Herman gets sideways back there, blocking Tayton. And this one here is going to be a runaway for Fancy in the Ferrari.
Hey, there goes Tayton Tomato.
It appears Tayton found a way around Speedball Herman. Ooh, another hit down here at the intersection. And we are missing 2 drivers. There they are.
There goes old Speedball Herman causing traffic yet again.
A double DNF. That's going to knock out Speedball Herman and Juicy Juice, which means this race is going to come down to Fancy in the black Ferrari and Tayton driving the purple pinkish Toyota. Only 1 point separating the two. Fancy has 12, Tayton has 11. Both cars on the inside 2 lanes. Who's going to win this 4th race and move on to the tournament?
Let's go, Speedball Herman.
Speedball Herman has 4 points, so there's no way he's moving on.
You gotta believe, 3D. You've gotta believe.
Right now it's Fancy surging ahead. Whoa, he gets loose going into the corner. Speedball Herman trying to pass.
Go, Speedball, go.
Again, Speedball has no chance, but what happened to Tayton?
I don't know, but come on, Speedball Herman.
Fancy through the garage in reverse. Tayton all the way back in 3rd. Fancy moves on. And that, whoa!
He did a barrel roll, 3D.
He did?
And he landed it.
How did he do a barrel roll at the
You know what,
intersection?
3D? I've been waiting for this one.
For what?
Do a barrel roll.
Wait, you had to do a barrel roll button?
Oh yeah, I've been sitting on this one for a hot minute.
Wow.
Finally.
You know, I always thought we'd see our first completed barrel roll in the stadium racing tournament, not here.
Well, he took away the fatality, so they had to get creative.
Well, that was actually pretty close to being a fatality.
So close.
Luckily, the car hit that high curb there.
All I know is that was one fancy move by Fancy.
Well, Fancy will be moving on in the Ferrari Testarossa to the tournament and is currently qualified in 4th place with that track time of 15.21 seconds.
King of the Mountain.
Here we go with qualifying race 6.
Up first, we got Mr. Slanman of Slanman Customs in the Monte Carlo SS.
Then next to him is Olivia May of Three Ravens Racing in the Porsche 944 Turbo.
Then driving in the Nissan Skyline R30, it's Nei Kamoa of Dragonfish Racing.
And last up in the light green Honda Civic EF, we have Tyler Wilson of Iron Horse Express.
Oh, you know I like those hatchbacks.
All right, let's get things started with the first of 4 races. The top driver in points will advance on to the tournament rounds.
I'll be cheering for Tyler Wilson in that green Honda hatchback.
The light is green and they are off. Slanman out in front, but here comes Olivia May on the outside. May with the overtake going into that first big turn. Nei Kamoa now in second, trying to catch up to Olivia. A hard block there by Olivia. She spins around along with Nei Kamoa.
Keep going down, Olivia. Keep going down.
Olivia going in reverse. Nei Kamoa spins it back around.
Well, that was a mistake for Nei Kamoa. That's why he fell back to 3rd. Again, it's not hard, people. Once you spin around, keep going down the track.
That seems to actually be some very sound advice.
It's from the legend Crazy Jimmy himself, so.
Let's see that replay right here. Nei Kamoa hits the backside of Olivia May, spins both cars around. Olivia chooses to finish the race going in reverse and drives it all the way to the line for the win. Nei Kamoa was in second place, but as you said, that correction caused him to fall back to 3rd.
Hey, I'm just trying to help these drivers out.
Olivia May now moves to the pole position and is currently in first place on the scoreboard. Nei Kamoa starting on her right in the dark blue-purple skyline.
All I know is Tyler Wilson needs to pick up the pace.
Tyler with 1 point on the board so far. Another close race between Olivia May and Nei Kamoa. Kamoa right on the tail of that Porsche. Here comes Slanman joining the mix. Some contact around the turn. Olivia May staying in first place here. Another bump in the garage, and Olivia May will pick up her second win in a row. That's going to move her up to 10 points on the scoreboard. That's 5 points ahead of Nei Kamoa and Slanman. A great start so far for Olivia May.
Nei Kamoa trying to find a way to pass on that race, could not get around Olivia May's car. She's doing a great job at maintaining that first place position.
Yeah, there were several bumps and hits from Nei Kamoa all throughout that race. But this time it didn't seem to faze Olivia May as she kept her car going straight all the way to the finish line to take a 5-point lead so far in this race.
Hey, that's why I said I was cheering for Olivia May.
You said you were cheering for Tyler Wilson.
What? That loser? No way.
Okay, that's uncalled for. We don't call anyone here a loser, okay?
Well, what are you when you're not a winner?
Well, there can only be one winner, so you're a competitor. You try.
Loser.
Tootie.
It's a correct use of the word.
Well, he hasn't lost yet.
He has 2 points.
He could still technically...
Really?
Never mind.
Exactly.
This time we have Nei Kamoa out in front, Slanman right behind him in second. Olivia May back in 3rd. Nei Kamoa trying to get away from Slanman. Here comes Slanman on the outside. Whoa!
Wow, what a finish.
That was close.
And we got a car down in the intersection.
We are still missing 2 drivers here. And there's Olivia May and Tyler Wilson caught up in the parking garage.
Oh, God, don't tell me Olivia May and Tyler Wilson got caught up with the Wookiee.
Well, those were your 2 picks for this race.
I should probably stop picking drivers.
Well, that would be very professional of you.
But I have to pick somebody.
You really don't.
I kind of do.
Anyways, this race between Nei Kamoa and Slanman, too close to call here. Here it is from the finish cam.
Maybe it was Kamoa?
I don't know. They're going to examine it one more time and slow it down here. Here it is from the side view. Neck and neck right there. Let's see when they hit the line. That's a little past the line and they're pretty much dead even. Wow.
I don't know if we've ever had a finish this close before.
Yeah, this one is close to call. We're going to go to the finish line camera one more time and try to freeze it right on the line. Wow, you know what? I think that's a tie. And you know what? Yes, they are going to score it as a tie. Both Nei Kamoa and Slanman will receive 5 points for that race.
Wow, that is a King of the Mountain first.
Yes, it is, and that means we have a 3-way tie going into the 4th race. Olivia May, Slanman, and Nei Kamoa all have 10 points each. So whoever wins this one right here is moving on.
Go Tyler Wilson.
Not Tyler Wilson, he only has 2.
That's sad.
Slanman currently out in the lead, Tyler Wilson in second. Olivia May ran into Tyler Wilson on that turn that slowed her way down.
Come on, Tyler, you're messing up the race.
Well, that was your pick. Tyler Wilson now slowing down Nei Kamoa.
Oh, God, this guy's terrible.
That's going to be an easy win for Slanman. with the assistance of Tyler Wilson.
Jeez, why'd I pick that guy? He totally messed up the last race.
I wouldn't be surprised if Slam Man paid him off.
Ooh, a conspiracy. I like this. Keep going.
I don't have anything else. I was just talking.
No, I think you're onto something here. Olivia May was up by 5 points over everyone else. Then she gets caught up with Tyler Wilson in the parking garage. Then on the last race, Tyler Wilson blocks both Olivia May and Nay Kamoa, giving Slam Man the easy win. There's definitely something fishy going on here, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Well, I am sorry I mentioned anything.
I'm glad you did.
Slam Man moves on to the next round with a track time of 15.18 seconds. That currently puts him in 4th place.
King of the Mountain.
Welcome back to King of the Mountain.
Up first, we have the god of the underworld, Hades, driving in the Toyota MR2.
Then next to him, we have Little John Golardi.
Yeah.
Driving in a Porsche 959.
Okay.
What are you doing?
It's my Little John impression.
Well, stop it. Next up, we have B. Wilson of Slam Man Customs, also driving in a Toyota MR2.
And then we have Thunder, exclamation mark, of the Oklahoma Outlaws, driving in another Porsche 959.
So tonight is the Toyota MR2 versus the Porsche 959.
You know, I think Little John's going to have trouble looking out his back window with all that paint.
Well, he just needs to focus on going forward.
Yeah.
That's enough of that.
Okay.
2D.
All right, sorry.
Hades out there blazing ahead of the pack. No one really even close to him at this point in the race.
Well, he is the underground god.
Thunder back in a distant second, gets caught up with Little John. And this is going to be a blowout race to start things off. Wow, and a quick time there, 14.48 seconds by Hades.
That is a fast time.
The two Porsches pushing and shoving out there. Thunder finishes that race in 3rd, Little John in 2nd, B. Wilson coming in 4th. Here's the replay. Look at this gap already at the start of the race between Hades and Thunder. And from that point on, it was pretty much over. If Hades can keep this up, he's already got this race in the bag.
That is one quick little car there. Let's see how he does from the outside lane, the most disadvantageous lane of them all.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what he does here in race 2. They're lined up, and they are off. Little John starting in the pole position. The two gold cars out in front. We've got B. Wilson in the lead, gets sideways. Now it's Thunder in the lead. Hades pulls into 2nd.
Come on, Hades, get him.
Hades gets a little loose on that turn. Thunder now stretching his lead.
Come on, Hades, catch up.
They're on the bridge, and this race will go to Thunder. Hades, however, manages to take 2nd after starting on the 4th lane.
Oh, come on.
Whoa.
Little John is a sore loser.
Well, yeah.
3D.
What?
It's not a good impression.
Okay.
Just stop.
Sorry, I apologize. What a race that was. Here's the replay. B. Wilson had the lead, got sideways. Thunder pushes him to the side, opening the door for him to pass along with Hades. Hades bumped into the back end of Thunder. That caused him to slow down, giving Thunder the win. That is going to tie Hades and Thunder on the scoreboard. Both drivers have 8 points each. B. Wilson and Little John both have 3.
So we have a fast and slow version of the Toyota and the Porsche here tonight.
Yes. Here they go down the track for race 3. This time it's Thunder leading them down the straight. Hades right behind him in 2nd. There's some contact as Hades tries to pass. Another bump. Thunder now pulling ahead, stretching the lead. Can Hades catch up through the garage?
Here he comes. Come on, Hades.
Whoa!
Yeah.
And it is a last-second pass.
Okay.
Right at the line by Hades to take the win over Thunder. What a move there.
That is what I'm talking about, 3D. Last-second pass right down to the line. Hades out there getting it done, representing for the MR2 fans. It's a little MR2 that could. I think I can, I will, and I'm doing it.
Okay, you are hyped for Hades here, aren't you?
Hell yeah, 3D. This is awesome.
That was an awesome pass by Hades. Let's see it again from the finish cam. Got it right at the line. That is going to move Hades up on the scoreboard to 13. Thunder 2 points behind with 11. Little John with 5. B. Wilson has 4. They are pretty much out of this race. Thunder is starting in the pole position here. Hades in lane 2. Let's see who's going to take it.
Oh, man, this is good.
There is the possibility for a tie here.
Let's go.
Oh, man, Hades already way out ahead. Not wanting to leave anything to chance here.
Man, that is a fast MR2.
Yeah, Hades does not stop, and can he keep it straight all the way to the line? That's clean. Okay, yeah, well, this is over. Wow.
He's driving like a red bat out of hell, 3D.
Another 14-second time for Hades, 14.72, a little slower than his first one. Still impressive. Not many drivers get a sub 15-second time here.
Oh, look at those losers.
2D, come on, don't kick a driver while they're down.
That's the best time you kick him. Your foot's like right there.
Just be nice. A great performance here tonight by Hades of Karmic Racing. He won 3 out of the 4 races, came in second on the other one. Probably the closest attempt we've had so far this tournament to a clean sweep.
I can't wait to see him race again.
And there you have it. Hades taking the second place spot with a time of 14.48 seconds.
I'll say it again, that is one fast car.
With one hell of a driver.
King of the Mountain.
Here we go with qualifying group number 8.
We got D Yang of Cool Runnings Garage driving in that Pontiac Firebird.
Then next to him in the Nissan Skyline R30, it's Joy Van Yel driving for Champions.
Then we have an American classic driven by a Canadian. It's Speedy Canuck Jr. in the C4 Corvette.
Nice gold color there. And last up, in the Lincoln Town Car.
Hey, pimpin' ain't easy.
It sure ain't. It's Mike Nassens Alberto of Smooth's Garage.
Nah, son, you got it wrong.
What are you talking about?
It's Mike Nassens Alberto.
I'm pretty sure that's what I just said.
No.
Whatever. Here we go with the first of 4 races. Dion starting this race on the inside lane in the Pontiac. Joy Van Yel starting to move ahead in the Nissan Skyline. Speedy Canuck Jr. gets spun around.
Come on, Junior, get it together.
That only widens the lead for Joy Van Yel. One more turn before the finish. Dion in second. Speedy Canuck getting bumped around.
Mike's out there saying, nah, son, get out the way.
And Joy Van Yel will win the first race, followed by Dion. Speedy Canuck Jr. takes third, and Mike Alberto will finish in fourth.
Look, all I know is Speedy Jr. needs to get it together. He's out there driving wild, getting in the way. If you're not going to take the race seriously, get off the track.
I thought you would be a fan of his backwards driving.
Look, racing in reverse is an art form. It takes years to perfect it, and Speedy Jr., the kid just doesn't have it yet.
Okay, some expert analysis from 2D. Joy Van Yel starting off on the pole position here in race 2.
What?
Joy Van Yel has the pole position.
Oh, I know. I was just reading the license plate on the car.
What?
Yeah, that's what it says.
What does it say?
What?
That's what I'm asking you.
What?
Joy Van Yel on the inside, passes up Speedy Canuck Jr.
Joy Van Yel is not playing games tonight.
Speedy Canuck Jr. falling behind along with the rest of the pack. And this will be Joy Van Yel's second win in a row tonight. A close finish between Speedy Canuck Jr. and Mike Alberto. That win is going to give Joy Van Yel a 5-point lead with 2 races to go. And it's going to be a DNF for Dion, who gets stuck over on the track.
That's a shame. I was rooting for the Pontiac.
Look at this pass right here. Joy Van Yel goes on the inside, forces Speedy Canuck Jr. to go high up on the turn, and then it was nothing but open lanes for Joy Van Yel all the way to the finish line.
Joy Van Yel is looking really good in this race so far.
Here we go with race 3. Speedy Canuck Jr. in the gold Corvette, starting on the inside lane. Mike Alberto in the blue Lincoln in lane 2.
Both Mike and Diang really need some points here. They only have 3.
Speedy Canuck Jr. pulling ahead on the inside lane. Joy Van Yel moves into second, going into the merge. Let's see if Speedy Canuck Jr. can keep it going straight here.
Joy Van Yel trying to pass there.
And it's a block from Speedy Canuck Jr. Can Joy Van Yel catch up to that Corvette? No, it's not going to happen as Speedy Canuck Jr. takes its first win of the night. Joy Van Yel finishes in second. Whoa!
Nah, son, that was crazy.
A hard finish for Mike Alberto as he comes in fourth. Joy Van Yel's 5-point lead has been reduced to 3 going into the 4th and final race. I'm really surprised to see Diange and the Pontiac Firebird doing so bad. Diange had the fastest pre-qualifying time coming into this race.
Hey, it's not about how you pre-qualify, it's about how you qualify.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
Of course it is.
Here we go, 4th and final race. Joy Van Yel in the Silver Skyline has 13. Speedy Canuck Jr. in the Gold Corvette has 10. And everyone else is too far behind in points to win.
So it's Skyline versus Corvette.
Diange out in front. Joy Van Yel passes in the merge. Speedy Canuck Jr. back in third.
I think Joy Van Yel's got this one.
Joy Van Yel has been dominant all night. And this race is no exception. Look at that. Not even a race here. Joy Van Yel wins again with a track time of, 15.07 seconds. That's a pretty quick time there.
And that means we're going to have a Skyline in the tournament.
That is our first Skyline for this tournament to qualify so far. Joy Van Yel was really in a different league from all these other racers tonight. Fast driving, great handling around the turns. Everyone else on the track seemed to be...
sloppy.
Yeah, that's the word.
Sloppy seconds.
Okay, don't say that.
What? Sloppy seconds, sloppy third, sloppy fourth. They're all sloppy.
Okay, you should just go back to calling them losers again.
3D. I would never.
There you go. Joy Van Yel currently qualified in 5th place.
King of the Mountain.
Welcome back to King of the Mountain.
Finally, 3D, we got a Mustang.
Yes, we do. It's a green Ford Mustang SVO driven by Cooper of MQH Racing.
Then driving for Baby Daddy's Racing, it's Orion G from Portland, Oregon in the Ford Sierra Cosworth.
Then we've got Commander Mud of Road Reaper Customs driving in the green Honda CRX.
I like that one. And last up, driving in the black GNX, it's Bobby Orr of Coal Hills Racing.
Bobby Orr coming to us from Canada. This is qualifying race 9 of Tournament 4. Top driver in points moves on to the tournament rounds.
I am so excited for this race.
Really? Okay.
We finally got a Mustang back out on the track.
So you're a Mustang fan now?
Oh yeah, Mustangs mean the return of the fatality button.
Well, hopefully not, and that's why we do have safety fences.
You can't stop that pony.
Cooper looking good so far, keeping that Mustang going straight. A huge lead here. No one even close at this point, and it's going to be an easy win for Cooper as he finishes with a sub 15-second time, 14.91. Great job there by Cooper. Clean racing. That's exactly what we want to see.
That's absolutely what we don't want to see.
According to Susan and the executives, we want to see clean, safe racing here in King of the Mountain.
So now you're a corporate man.
What?
A corpo.
What does that even mean?
It's all this talk of safety and fences. You've lost your way.
How have I lost my way?
We all see it, 3D. We all see it.
That's ridiculous. You know there was a time when we didn't have any fatalities.
Oh, really? Race in Peace McClyde.
Okay, that was one fatality.
Exactly.
And there were no spectators getting hit before Race City.
Well, tell that to the guy who took a fender to the face in the DRC.
Okay, there were occasional spectator incidents.
It was definitely more than one.
You need some therapy.
I probably do.
Let's get back to this race. We got Commander Mud in the lead in the Honda CRX. Cooper in the Mustang, currently in second place. Commander Mud entering the garage. Cooper gaining. Cooper on the outside makes the pass. And that will be 2 wins in a row for Cooper in the Ford Mustang SVO. Very impressive move there at the end.
It seems that Cooper may have done the impossible here.
What's that?
He may have tamed the beast, which is the Ford Mustang.
He is doing very well so far. He started that race off in the 4th lane. That lane has the biggest disadvantage. So for him to overcome that and win this race, that's very big.
He's driving clean so far, but I still got hope because the Mustang's going to do what a Mustang's gonna do.
Well, we got 2 races left. Cooper currently on top of the scoreboard with 10 points. That's 5 points over Orion G and Commander Mud. Cooper back out ahead of the pack here. Commander Mud moves into second place.
Come on, Cooper, let loose in that thing.
Great handling on that turn there. Didn't hit the wall at all. A decent sized lead here as he goes through the garage. Clean exit on that turn. A straight path to the finish line. Whoa, a little accident there between Orion G and Bobby Orr. But that's going to be Cooper's 3rd win in a row. We may very well be on the verge of our first clean sweep this tournament.
Okay, you know what? I'm actually excited about this now because I happen to have a clean sweep button.
You know, I think I just realized something.
What?
You just want to press buttons.
Well, yeah.
You don't really want to see spectators get hit by cars. You just want to hit the button.
I kind of want to see them get hit by cars too.
Oh, God.
Does that make me a bad person?
Yes, it does.
Well, gee.
Here we go, 4th and final race, a clean sweep on the verge. Cooper in the green Ford Mustang. Will this be the first clean sweep of the tournament? Cooper already way out in front of the competition.
Come on, Cooper, you got this. Keep it straight.
Such great handling here by Cooper in the Mustang. This is very impressive. A massive lead here now for Cooper. Cooper across the bridge, and Cooper does it. Go ahead, Tootie.
Oh, here we go. Clean sweep. Oh, it feels so good to hit a button.
And see, you hit a positive button.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
A total score of 20 for Cooper. That was 12 points over second place. An absolute blowout race here for Cooper in the green Ford Mustang SVO. I gotta say, that has to be the best driving we've seen in a Ford Mustang on this channel ever.
Somehow Cooper has figured out how to tame the beast, which is called the Ford Mustang. I am questioning whether that really is a Mustang or not.
Oh, not this.
Because it just goes against everything we know about reality.
Well, there you have it. Cooper currently tied with John Alexander. Both qualified with a time of 14.79 seconds.
King of the Mountain.
Welcome back to King of the Mountain.
First up today, we have JT Money of Grumpy Cloud Racing from Seattle, Washington in the Cadillac Seville.
Then next, all the way from the Flat Rabbit Racing Club, it's Glitch.
Hey, it's Glitch.
Driving in the purple Monte Carlo SS.
Then in the Ford Sierra Cosworth, it's Dan Ribeye. I'm getting hungry. Driving for Skeleton Bay Racing.
And last up,
and probably least,
they usually are, but it's Big Mike of NZ Racing in the Buick Regal GNX.
That GNX does look clean.
All right, here we go. 4 races, top driver in points advances on. Will it be the Cadillac, the Monte Carlo, the Cosworth, or the GNX?
Well, I like rabbits, so I gotta cheer for my man Glitch of the Flat Rabbit Racing Club.
Glitch here out in lead ahead of JT Money. They're through the first big 180 turn. JT Money not too far behind. Glitch maintaining his distance here. Clean driving here so far as they head to the bridge. And race 1 will go to Glitch. Whoa!
Oh, wait a minute.
Dan Ribeye goes into the crowd.
Where's my button? Where's my button?
Go ahead, Tootie. I know you've been waiting for this.
I don't have the button.
How do you not have your button?
It was right here. Look, I have clean sweep.
Clean sweep.
I have the dirty sweep button.
Dirty!
I have the you didn't know button.
Oh, you didn't know? You have a Road Dogg Jesse James button?
Well, of course.
What's this one right here?
Do not press that button.
What's it do?
When the time is right, all will be revealed.
That's just weird.
Hey, Steve, have you seen the fatality button?
Well, unfortunately, Tootie was not able to find his fatality button, so I guess the incident will enter into the record as just a minor accident. Did I get that right, Susan? Okay.
It was right here.
Here we go with race 2, Glitch in the purple car, starting on the inside lane.
I don't know, maybe the cleaning person moved it or something.
It's okay, let's get back to the race. This time we got Big Mike taking the lead. Glitch and Dan Ribeye fighting for second. They're side to side around that turn. Glitch comes out ahead. Big Mike in the white GNX in the lead. Can he keep it all the way to the finish line? Through the final turns here. Glitch trying to catch up, but will not be able to as Big Mike takes the win on race 2 with a track time of 15.92 seconds.
Is anybody going to help the photographer who got hit by the car?
Well, you see, the safety crew kind of got replaced by the safety fences.
So we don't have a safety crew.
We have fences.
But that's not a crew.
Well, no, it's a fence.
So if somebody gets hit, there's no crew to help them out?
Well, there's fences to stop them from getting hit in the first place.
Yeah, but somebody got hit.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works.
You see the problem here, though, right?
Well, that is why we still do have waivers.
Ah, yes, the life-giving waivers.
We should coin that phrase. Here we go with race 3. Glitch in the purple car currently with a 1-point lead over Big Mike in the white GNX. Big Mike really making some big moves with a big lead. I did not expect to see this as he had the slowest pre-qualifying time of the group.
He must have been sandbagging.
I mean, this race here is a complete blowout. Look at that. Massive win there for Big Mike. 15.5 second time. Whoa!
I thought Glitch was going to get knocked into the crowd.
A front-end collision there between Big Mike and Glitch. Tensions are high as those are the two top racers here today. Let's check out the replay on that one more time. You can see Glitch here approaching the intersection, and he appears to swerve directly into Big Mike's car. That may have been intentional.
I love a little road rage on the track.
Let's check that out one more time here. Right there, head-on collision doesn't end very well for Glitch.
Well, I think he made his point.
Well, here's the score going into the fourth race. Big Mike has 12, Glitch has 10, Dan Ribeye has 6, and JT Money has 5.
So it all comes down to Big Mike and Glitch.
Big Mike starting this race in the pole position, Glitch in lane 3. And here we go, they're off for race 4. Big Mike already pulling ahead, Glitch currently in second place. Glitch not too far behind, but Big Mike seems to be pulling away here.
Big Mike is moving to that GNX.
Big Mike with one turn left before the finish line. Glitch now gaining on Big Mike. He's on the side. Glitch goes for the pass right at the finish line. Wow.
Wow is right. Glitch getting it done for the Flat Rabbit Racing Club right there. Oh, we got his tie.
Oh, my goodness. What a clutch move by Glitch at the end to tie the score. This race was Big Mike's to lose. You can see he gets a little sloppy in the turn. Glitch capitalizes, goes on the right side, and then watch how he cuts in front of him right at the finish line to secure the win. That is going to send this race into a tiebreaker round.
Yes, tiebreaker round. Let's do this.
The tiebreaker round will consist of 2 races. If it ends in a tie, the driver with the fastest track time tonight will advance on to the tournament.
Let's go.
And the light goes green for the first race. Glitch starting in the pole position, but Big Mike already taking over this race.
That white GNX has some power under the hood.
Let's see if Glitch can do what he did last time, catching up to Big Mike. A hard hit into the wall there, that's going to slow him down.
What happened to Glitch?
I don't even see him.
Oh, there he is.
The first race will go to Big Mike. A disappointing performance here from Glitch. What's he doing?
I think he might have been celebrating a little too early after that last win, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, hopefully not, but he's really got himself in a bad position here. Big Mike now has the pole position on this next race. Glitch is going to need to win this race and get a faster time if he wants any chance of moving on.
I don't know. So far, Big Mike's GNX is a beast.
Here we go for the second race in the tiebreaker round. Big Mike starting off in the left lane. Glitch right behind Big Mike in this race so far. Mike now starting to separate himself going through the turns. Glitch is now way behind in this race.
Yeah, he's glitching out.
Wow, such a disappointment from Glitch. He was looking so good, and now he's just so slow.
Maybe his graphite expired.
You know, it could be.
It happens to the best of us.
Well, that is a big win for Big Mike of NZ Racing, coming to us all the way from New Zealand.
Nice. Way to go, Big Mike.
Not quite sure what happened to Glitch here. He was looking good in this race up to this point here. You can see him hit the wall, goes into that turn at a bad angle, and that just left Big Mike all alone for the rest of the race.
Well, I was cheering for Glitch, but it's nice to see Big Mike, the underdog, take this race.
Yes, it was. Big Mike is currently qualified in 9th place with a track time of 15.50 seconds.
And that's our first Buick GNX to qualify.
Yes, we finally got a Buick in the tournament.
King of the Mountain.
Welcome back to King of the Mountain. First up tonight in that light blue Ford Thunderbird, we have Sawyer of Uncle Elvis Racing.
Then bringing the D, it's Michael.
Don't say that.
Of 8 Ball Studios, driving in the Buick Regal GNX.
Then driving in the number 77 Mazda Savannah RX-7, it's Gray Wizard of Golden Owl Racing.
And last up, all the way from Hiroshima, Japan, we got George M. Rodriguez Nunez of Simple Custom 64.
A nice group of cars here, Thunderbird, Buick, Mazda, and Audi. Which one of these racers will be advancing on to the tournament? We are about to find out. Here we go for race 1 of 4. Sawyer starting off on the inside lane. Going into the merge at Sawyer, Michael D. Followed by Gray Wizard and George. Michael D taps the back end of Sawyer, looking for a way to get around that Thunderbird. A tight race over the bridge as Sawyer takes the win on round 1.
A nice close finish there.
Yes, it was. Sawyer gets a track time of 15.07 seconds on that race. That's going to give him 5 points to start things off. Let's look at the instant replay. You can see Michael D trying to find a way to get around Sawyer. Sawyer, with some great track awareness of what was going on behind him, made sure to block any openings for Michael D to be able to pass. If he can keep that up, he might be moving on to the next round.
You know, we haven't seen too many Ford Thunderbirds.
No, but what we have seen in this tournament is a lot of Buick Regal GNXs.
Hey, Kendrick brought the GNX back.
I guess so. Here we go with race 2. We got Michael D and the GNX starting on the inside lane. And they are off. Michael D taking the early lead, but here comes Gray Wizard. Wizard taking over the lead going into the first big turn. Michael D wants that lead back.
There's some pushing and shoving going on.
Michael is fighting for it. Gray Wizard trying to get some distance here. They're out the garage, over the bridge, and Gray Wizard takes the win on race 2 with a time of 15.62 seconds.
Way to go, Gandalf.
It appears we are missing 2 drivers. There they are. Sawyer gets into the side of George Rodriguez, and that is going to be a double DNF.
That's going to hurt them on the scoreboard.
You can see those 2 cars right on the replay there. Sawyer must have pushed George all the way down the track to that point. A pass attempt coming up right here by Michael D around the turn, but he gets blocked by the Gray Wizard.
The Gray Wizard said, "You shall not pass," and he didn't.
Well, that win is going to put Gray Wizard on top of the scoreboard with 7 points. Michael D is in second with 6. Sawyer has 5, and George has 1.
Oh, poor George.
There they go down the track for race 3. Gray Wizard with the pole. Sawyer currently in second, followed by George Rodriguez. A lot of slipping and sliding from those back 3 cars on that turn. That opens up this race completely for Gray Wizard. So far, there was no challenge in this race.
Sawyer in distant second back there.
Gray Wizard crosses the bridge to take his second win of the night with a time of 15.99 seconds.
Gandalf getting it done tonight.
And again, we are missing 2. Wait, here comes another one. It's Michael D to pass the finish line in third, but that's going to be another DNF, unfortunately, for George M. Rodriguez.
Uh-oh, we got another victim of the Wookiee.
Ah, the inevitable Wookiee takes another victim in the garage. Meanwhile, that is 2 wins in a row for Gray Wizard. He now has 12 points. Sawyer and Michael D tied with 8. That is a 4-point lead going into the 4th and final race. It is going to be hard for anybody to beat Gray Wizard at this point.
You just have to take him out.
Well,
that's the only option.
That's not an option. This is the race. We don't take people out.
We've seen it happen before, so.
That is true.
Violence is the only option here.
Here they go down the track for the final race. Sawyer leading the pack, Michael D right behind him. Gray Wizard currently back in 4th. Sawyer slams into the wall. Whoa, we just lost Michael D off the road.
Where's that button?
A close race into the garage. Across the bridge. Sawyer takes the win, followed by George and Gray Wizard. But it's not going to be enough for Sawyer. Gray Wizard takes the win by 1 point, 14-13.
Oh, see, look at that. And I still haven't found my button.
Oh, you haven't found it yet. Oh, that's a shame.
And look at that. He hit the dog.
He hit a dog?
Yes, look at that.
You know, I think I just found the button.
You had my button this whole time.
Just hit the button.
I've been looking all over the place.
Press the button for the dog, please.
Oh, I will, but we're going to have a talk about
button.
this.
Fatality.
Race in peace, little dog.
Race in peace.
Well, unfortunately, the dog did not sign a waiver, so...
Do dogs have 9 lives?
I'm pretty sure that just applies to cats.
They all go to heaven, though.
According to the movie, yes.
Well, that's good.
Well, we apologize that this is ending on a sad note, but the Gray Wizard in his Mazda Savannah RX-7 will be moving on with a track time of 15.62 seconds. That currently qualifies him in 10th place.
King of the Mountain.
Welcome back to King of the Mountain. Up first tonight is A.N. Bautista, aka Big Sis, in the Nissan Skyline R30.
Then we have returning driver League of Speed of L&L Racing, driving in the Ford Mustang SBO.
Up next, let's get Slappy with Slappy X, driving in the Pontiac Firebird.
Slappy, I like it.
And last up, winging it in the Ford Thunderbird Turbo, we have Troy Turbo of Team Thunder Chicken.
Look at here, I say, I like the paint job on that car.
Okay, we got a Skyline, a Mustang, a Pontiac Firebird, and a Thunderbird.
Battle of the Birds, Thunder versus Fire.
Which is better, Firebird or Thunderbird?
Definitely the Firebird. Think about it, thunder is all sound. Fire, that can burn something up.
Well, hopefully nothing burns up here today. League of Speed out in front. Whoa!
Oh, Mustang down.
League of Speed is out as Big Sis takes the lead in the Skyline. Slappy X in distant second place. Troy Turbo way back in third. And race one will go to Big Sis, followed by Slappy X and Troy Turbo. Big Sis gets a 15.08 second time on that race. But what went wrong with League of Speed on this one?
Well, he chose to drive a Mustang, and, it's a wild beast, and you have to know how to tame it. We did see Cooper in the green Mustang a few races ago know how to actually control that car.
That's right, we had Clean Sweep Cooper.
Yeah, well, I should have said allegedly because I am opening an investigation to see whether that was really a Mustang or not.
It was definitely a Mustang.
We'll find out, but this right here is what we would expect to see from a Mustang. It's either going to be upside down or in a crowd. That's kind of its natural position.
Well, this time League of Speed moves into the pole position. 0 points on that first race with that DNF. Let's see what he can do here. Slappy X in the white Firebird starting to his right. League of Speed pulling ahead. Can he manage this corner? Handles it well this time. Whoa, he's sliding around there.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
You're right, that car is a wild beast.
I would recommend everyone down there step away from the track. Here it comes.
League of Speed across the bridge, and he'll take that win with a 15.09 second time.
That guy down there standing on the curb is crazy. He's definitely got a death wish.
Yeah, he's kind of defeating the purpose of the fences, but I guess he's putting his trust in the waiver.
Well, every city has its fool.
Let's see the replay on that one. League of Speed definitely struggling to control that car.
It's like riding a wild stallion that wants to kill you and everyone around you.
Well, he still managed to win that race. That's going to bring his score up to 5. Big Sis currently on top of the board with 7. Slappy X in second place right now with 6 points. Slappy will be starting this race in the pole position.
Troy Turbo needs to engage that turbo because he's falling behind in points.
They are off down the track for race 3. Slappy X in the white Firebird out in front. Big Sis pulls into second, followed by League of Speed. Big Sis right now keeping up with Slappy X down the track. There was a hit. Slappy X now surging ahead. Slides coming out of that corner. And it's a close finish for all 3 cars as Slappy X finishes first, followed by Big Sis, then League of Speed. But we are missing Troy Turbo. Uh-oh.
Oh boy, another victim of the Wookiee.
Such a shame we lost another one.
It's tough.
That was some nice close racing between Slappy X, Big Sis, and League of Speed.
Slappy X seems to have forgotten to secure down that hood.
Yeah, that's probably not the best thing aerodynamically in a race.
Yeah, you don't want your hood slapping around.
They should probably address that, but it's Slappy X.
It's more sloppy, I think, than slappy.
Well, we got 1 race left. Slappy is in the lead by 1 point with 11. Big Sis has 10. League of Speed has 7, and Troy Turbo has 4. Who's going to move on to the next round? We are about to find out now.
Leave it all on the track.
League of Speed and Big Sis separating themselves from the other 2 drivers. Big Sis pulls ahead of League of Speed. Slappy X has fallen way behind.
He's all the way back and forth.
Big Sis not slowing down at all here. And it's going to be Big Sis, followed by League of Speed. Whoa, there goes Troy Turbo.
Wow.
Wrecking at the end.
Shout out to Death Wish John, who's standing on the curb of the intersection. He is a much braver man than I will ever be.
Or he's just really stupid.
That's definitely a possibility as well.
At this point, he's just tempting fate.
Yeah, but you gotta kind of respect a man who's just embracing the impact with his arms stretched out. Like, bring it to me. Whatever life has, Mustangs, Thunderbirds, throw it all at me. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm taking my stand right here on this curb.
That sounds great and all until he takes a bumper to the face.
Hey, if you're gonna go out, you might as well go out with a bumper.
Well, A.N. Bautista, Big Sis, will be moving on to the tournament with a track time of 15.08.
King of the Mountain.
Welcome back to King of the Mountain. Up first tonight, we have Strong Solo of Easterham Racing, in the BMW M3.
Then driving in the green Buick Grand National, it's Helen, the Hellion Sterling of the Two Sisters Racing Team.
Then coming to us from Costa Mesa, California, it's Pierre driving for Lamps.
Lamps. And finally, we have Nikki Chicky of Rabid Badger Racing in the Chevy Monte Carlo SS.
All right, here we go. 4 races, top driver in points moves on to the tournament rounds. We've got a Beamer, a Buick, a Ferrari, and a Chevy.
We haven't seen too many BMWs.
No, we haven't, but we have seen quite a few of the other cars.
Especially the GMX.
Whoa, a strong start for Strong Solo. The camera drone can barely keep up with him.
What's that guy got under the hood?
I don't know, but he is really quick out there.
Strong Solo's on fire here.
Flies through the garage, and that's going to be a sub 14-second time.
We got a new record, 3D.
A new record time set by Strong Solo in the BMW M3. Wow, I did not expect to see anyone beat 14 seconds.
That is incredible.
That is going to knock Jack and Arlo, who are tied with 14-second times, off of the fastest time podium. Now, Mark D is still the record holder. He had a 13.82 second time in his golden DeLorean. That was, however, on the previous 2-lane setup. So when we get to the end of the season, the record holder of the 4-lane setup will compete against the record holder of the 2 lanes, which is Mark D, and the winner of those two will get a spot in the Tournament of Champions.
All I know is that 13.93 for Strong Solo is going to be hard to beat.
Yes, we have only had 2 drivers to set a sub 14-second time in this whole season.
Let's see what Solo does from the outside lane.
This time we have Helen starting in the pole, Pierre to her right in the Ferrari. They're bunched up around the turn. Pierre moves out in front. Strong Solo drafting off the back end of the Ferrari. Helen falls back to third. Can Strong Solo get the pass on the bridge? Whoa! And Pierre will just barely... Whoa!
Man down.
That guy got too excited about that race.
Hey, this is edge of your seat action.
He better get off the track. Here comes Nikki Chicky, who slowly comes in 4th place. She's got a lot of work to do to have any chance of moving on. Let's see the replay of that finish here. Strong Solo glued to the back end of that Ferrari. He sees an opening, but Pierre cuts in front of him right at the finish line to hold him back. An intense race right down to the line.
Yeah, a little too intense for our friend. Hopefully he's okay.
I see him climbing back up to the top of the fence. Probably not a good idea, but what are you going to do?
We could get security out there.
Well, remember, we don't have security anymore because we have the safety fences.
It sounds like this was all one big cost savings measure.
Well, so far, it's worked out pretty good.
It just all sounds pretty bad.
Strong Solo back out in the lead. Pierre in second. Solo hits the wall, spins around. A hard front end impact there from the Ferrari. And now Strong Solo is racing in reverse.
Oh yeah, Strong Solo is the real deal. He's got that backwards driving down pack, man. That is awesome.
Another win for Strong Solo. That's going to move him up to 13 points. That's 3 points over Pierre, who has 10. And that's going to be a DNF for Nikki Chicky, who's stuck right in the middle of the road.
That is a strange place to stop.
Look at this replay right here. Strong Solo hits the wall, drifts and spins around. Pierre slams right into him, the back end of that Ferrari flipping up in the air. But then Strong Solo just perfectly drives down the track in reverse. Look how he handles the turns.
And notice he didn't try to correct it, because once you spin around, you keep going down. That is Crazy Jimmy Online Night School Driving 101.
Well, here we go. 4th and final race. Strong Solo has a 3-point lead over Pierre in the Ferrari. Strong Solo in the red BMW starting this race in lane 2. And he is already gone. This is over.
Yep, you can stick a fork in this one because it's done.
Well, we shouldn't say that yet. Hits the side there, a little bobble, but yeah, this guy is...
He's a professional.
Yeah, Strong Solo is in a league of his own. What time does he get here? 14.19. Incredibly fast time. That time alone would have qualified him in 2nd place. But man, 13.93 on that first run. Absolutely incredible.
Hey, here comes Nikki Chicky. Shout out to Nikki Chicky for finishing the race.
Absolutely. Sometimes you see drivers just give up and not finish. It's okay if you come in last place. Just make it past the finish line.
Yeah, after all, if you ain't first, you're last anyways, so it doesn't really matter.
Incredible driving here today by Strong Solo in the red BMW M3, who is now your top qualifier going into the tournament rounds with that 13.93 second time. That's incredible.
And he did it in the BMW.
I think some of these builders might be sleeping on the BMWs.
I think so.
King of the Mountain.
Welcome back to King of the Mountain.
Hey, we got Big C of Big C's Chop Shop in the custom Pontiac Firebird.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Then we have Ron R. of Chaos Canyon
I like chaos.
in the green Ford Mustang SVO.
Then driving in the Mazda Savannah RX-7 all the way from Quebec, Canada, it's Kira.
We got New Zealand and Canada in the house. And last up to round things off is Dominique Hampton, driving for Red Star Diecast Racing in the Chevy Monte Carlo SS.
That custom Firebird is pretty wild.
I'm interested to see how he does here in this race. Big C had the fastest pre-qualifying time of this group. Here they go down the track for the first race of 4. Whoa, and we just lost Dominique Hampton.
What happened back there?
Instant wipeout for Dominique. Ron R takes over the lead, Kira in second, challenging Ron for first place. Kira right on the tail of that Mustang, tries to get past in the garage, but Ron R, whoa!
We got a man down.
Oh my
2 men down.
goodness. Watch out for...
Well, that's going to be
Fatality.
What a mess down here at the finish line.
I mean, really, those guys were asking for it.
There's Dominique Hampton crashed over on the single lanes. Let's see what happened down here at the intersection.
Ron R got wild and loose.
And he actually didn't hit anybody, but Big C smacks right into that spectator.
Hey, that guy was embracing it.
And then right here, Kira rolls Ron R's Mustang over on top of the other spectator.
I mean, it's pretty normal for a Mustang.
Well, I hope everyone has learned a lesson here. Stay off of the curb. Stay off of the fences. The fences are there for your safety and protection. Again, I can't stress this enough. We don't have a safety team. We just have fences.
Hey, you know what? A flawed plan is still a plan.
Absolutely.
Sign those waivers, people.
Ron R and Kira once again fighting it out for first place. Kira gets blocked around the turn. Ron R now creating a big gap between him and second place. Over the bridge to the line, and Ron R will take the win on race 2.
You gotta be kidding me. There's somebody else out there now?
What?
There's another idiot standing on the curb.
I think we have another nominee for the Darwin Award right here.
You just saw 2 people get hit, and you thought it was a good idea to stand in the same spots.
Some people enjoy attending the School of Hard Knocks.
Look, I'm not complaining. I like a good fatality.
That's actually disturbing.
Okay, I said that wrong. I like to press the button.
Yeah, still,
I'm just saying at least make it a challenge for the Mustang to hit you.
I kind of feel like you're part of the problem that you're complaining about here.
What? When have I ever encouraged anyone to get hit by a car?
You wanted the fences taken down. On your podcast, you talked about the hope for a Mustang to hit somebody. I mean, you're part of this Carmageddon culture that's overtaking Race City.
Look, just because I made a suggestion to add bonus points for hitting spectators doesn't mean I enjoy seeing it happen.
Really?
I view my role in pressing the fatality button as an obligation.
You are a combination of delusion and gaslighting. Kira out in front in this race. Big C in second, closing in. A hard hit there spins Kira around. Here comes Ron R to join the party. And it's a tight 3-car race past the line, with Kira taking the win in reverse. Whoa!
That dude on the curb got so lucky.
That Monte Carlo almost took him out. We got 2 cars upside down. Dominique Hampton and Ron R. Let's go to the replay. Big C turning up the aggression in this race. Slams into that Mazda, spinning it around. Kira doing a great job of keeping that car under control, going in reverse. Takes the backwards win, followed by Big C and Ron R. Ron R hits the curb, pops up, that flips him over. But then watch what happens right here with Dominique Hampton. Clips the front end of that Mazda, smacks right into the curb in front of that spectator. Just barely misses him.
That guy is lucky.
The scores going into the final race. Ron R has 12. Kira has 11. Ron R starting in lane 3. Kira starting in lane 4. And they're off for the final race. Big C in lane 2 taking the early lead. Ron R passing in the merge. There's some contact and Ron R rushes ahead.
Another fast Mustang here.
Ron R hits the wall on that turn, but that does not slow him down.
He's got it.
And this race will go to Ron R with a track time of 15.55. That means he will be advancing on to the tournament. Ron R finishes with 17 points over Kira's 13. Big C had 8 and Dominique had 4.
So that's going to be another Mustang moving on to the tournament.
Yes, that will be our second green Mustang to make it into the tournament so far.
Green seems to be a lucky color for the Mustangs.
There you have it, Ron R moving on to the tournament and is currently qualified in 4th place with a track time of 14.78 seconds.
King of the Mountain.
Welcome back. You're watching King of the Mountain.
Hey, we got preload channel of preload garage in a Honda CRX.
It's a lot of preloading.
Strange name.
Then it's high-speed Talbert of the Oklahoma Outlaws driving in the Chevy Monte Carlo.
And he is from Oklahoma.
It would be weird if he wasn't.
Kurt Madison of Cooter's Garage is driving in a VW Brasilia. Wow.
That might be a first. But what certainly is not a first is the Ford Mustang SVO, driven by Trace Blewett of Snake Racing.
Out of all these cars, I love that Honda CRX.
That one's driven by Preload Channel. They'll be starting in the pole position.
Maybe it's Preload Chanel.
Okay, we'll go with that. We are go for green for the first of 4 races. Preload Chanel off to a strong start here. Already a nice big lead going to that first big turn. Some nice drifting action around the corner. And man, that little Honda is gone.
I love a good hatchback. Wait a minute.
Chanel having problems. And High-Speed Talbot goes high on the turn for the pass and steals the win on race 1.
Oh man, I thought Preload Chanel was going to get that one.
High-Speed Talbot gets a time of 16.01. We are missing the VW Brasilia.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, that's not good. There's Kurt Madison, stopped over by the Toyota dealership.
He's at the wrong shop.
Kurt may be having some mechanical problems with his car.
Well, yeah, he's taking his VW to a Toyota dealership.
Well, hopefully he gets that figured out. Preload Chanel was off to a great start on this race, but got passed up in the garage by High-Speed Talbot. Here we go. They're lined up for race 2. High-Speed Talbot starting in the pole position this time. Kurt Madison starting to his right. Hopefully Kurt can make it a little further down the track this time.
He needs to find his way to a VW dealership.
A slow start for Kurt, not looking good. Trace Blewett in the gray Mustang taking over this race. Chanel right behind in second, makes contact, gets a little loose on that turn.
That Mustang's bouncing around.
Trace Blewett trying to get away from Preload Chanel. High-Speed Talbot trying to pass again in the garage over Chanel. And whoa!
Wow!
High-Speed Talbot made the pass but paid the price as he went slamming into the curb. Another great move by High-Speed Talbot, who is still on top of the scoreboard now with 8.
Oh boy, Madison is not looking good here.
Yeah, again, he's at the wrong dealership.
I'm not sure if he's going to make it 3D.
It's not looking good. Look at this finish again here. That car went flying in the air, and that safety fence did work right there.
How is that guy on the curb still standing?
You know, some people live for that adrenaline rush. I can't imagine more of a rush than having those 2 cars come flying straight at you.
Yeah, but eventually his luck is going to run out.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to get hit.
You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Kurt Madison starting on the inside lane this time.
I think Kurt Madison needs to walk away.
I think he's trying to find the right repair shop, but he keeps getting lost.
Is he even a racer, or is he just some rando who showed up?
You know, I'm not in charge of that stuff. Preload Chanel trying to catch that Mustang.
Let's go, Chanel. Get around it.
A close race through the garage. They're on the bridge. And Trace Blewett will take her second win.
Oh
Whoa!
How?
A close call.
How is that guy still standing?
I don't know. He is so lucky. He needs to go buy a lottery ticket right now.
That Monte Carlo was right in his face.
Yeah, he's playing a real dangerous game. Kurt Madison, on the other hand,
he's really lost, isn't he?
just keep going straight. Don't stop.
Okay, I'm actually excited now. 3 DNFs in a row, 1 more, and we got ourselves a dirty sweep.
That is true.
We haven't had one of those in a while.
Well, there you go. You know, not all heroes finish in first. Some don't finish at all.
Let's go, Kurt Madison. Don't finish.
Here's the score going into the 4th and final race. Trace Blewett has 12. High-Speed Talbot has 10. Preload Chanel has 8.
And my boy Kurt got that big O so far. Let's keep it going, Kurt.
Here we go down the track for the last race. A close race between all 3 cars. Chanel got popped up on the curb there. Trace Blewett out in front. Preload Chanel gets sideways. And that right there might be it. Trace Blewett with a huge lead. Coming down to the garage. And yes, this race is over. A huge win at the end there for Trace Blewett. Let's see if anyone else is going to finish. Here comes High-Speed Talbot. Again.
Oh my goodness. How 3? How?
The man has luck on his side.
Hats off to that guy on the curb. He's untouchable. He is untouchable.
And look at this right here,
oh,
Tootie.
baby, we're about to get dirty with a... Oh, that was so satisfying.
Well, this race was quite interesting. We had Kurt Madison with a dirty sweep. We had Trace Blewett, who didn't blow it.
Trace won, but was kind of slow.
And then we had Death Wish Johnny standing on the curb, staring down high-speed cars without flinching an inch.
That's a man's man, 3D. That is a man's man.
Not a great time for Trace Blewett. That 16:06 time will qualify Trace in 15th place with 1 race left to go.
King of the Mountain.
Welcome back. It's the final qualifying race of Tournament 4.
Marco
Polo
from Puerto Rico will be driving in the Pontiac Firebird.
Then, better get Mako. We'll be driving in the Joker Nissan Skyline R30.
That is an awesome paint job. Then it's Numbskull of Numbskull Racing in the blue Buick Regal GNX.
Nice to see Numbskull out there. And last up, it's Teddy Davis of Teddy Davis Racing, driving in the Lancia 037.
Nice, we haven't seen too many of those.
Here we go, last qualifying race of the tournament. 1 spot left, who's gonna take it? the Firebird, the Nissan, the Buick, or the Lancia.
I like that Joker car, so I'm cheering for Mako.
And they are down the track. Marco
Polo
off to a strong start here in the black Pontiac Firebird.
I do like a good Firebird.
But here comes Numbskull in the blue Buick, closing in on Marco Polo.
Hey, I was supposed to say Polo.
We're not going to do that bit the entire race.
Oh, come on. You're no fun.
We're not doing it. Marco takes the win on race 1. Fast time, too. 14.25 seconds. Numbskull comes in third. Mako in second. Teddy Davis takes fourth. Let's go to the replay. Marco doing a great job handling the track in that Pontiac Firebird. He's got the speed, he's got the handling, and that is a recipe for winning here in King of the Mountain.
Who are you talking about?
Marco.
Polo.
We're not going to do this the entire race.
Okay, fine. That was the last one.
Show some professionalism, okay?
Oh, lighten up.
Here we go with race 2. Mako starting in the pole position. Marco Polo moves all the way to the far right. And they are go for green. Numbskull starting to pull ahead in the blue Buick. Mako currently back in second. Teddy Davis in third. Numbskull quite a ways ahead of all the other racers right now. Not the cleanest around that turn. They're through the garage. And race 2 goes to Numbskull.
That was pretty fast, too.
Yes, it was 14.39 seconds. That is just 0.14 seconds off the time of Marco Polo's first run.
And speaking of Marco Polo, I think we found him.
See, that would have been the time to do the Marco Polo bit.
Oh, you're right.
We can't see him. One of us says Marco Polo, and there he is.
Yep, missed opportunity right there.
A strong performance there for Numbskull. That win is going to move him up on the scoreboard. He now has 8 points. Marco Polo and Mako are both tied with 5. Teddy Davis on the bottom with 3.
That DNF really hurt Marco.
Polo.
Hey, you said we weren't doing it anymore.
That's the last time, okay?
It's old now, 3D. Nobody's laughing.
I slightly chuckled on the inside.
Nobody cares about your internal chuckle.
Okay, let's get back to the race. This time Numbskull has the pole, but Teddy Davis has the lead.
Teddy Davis trying to make up for lost points.
He is on the bottom of the scoreboard, but right now he is in the lead. Marco Polo trying to chase him down. A pretty close race through the garage, and Teddy Davis takes the...
Whoa! Oh, wow!
We tried to warn him.
Marco Polo with a knockout, Numbskull with the finisher. I think it's safe to say that is a
Fatality.
Wow, he was there 1 second, now he's gone.
A real metaphor for life.
Race in peace, Death Wish Johnny.
Race in peace.
You just hate to see stuff like this happen. Here's the replay.
A direct hit. That's like a 2-point bonus if we were doing bonus points for that, but we're not.
Exactly, we're not.
I mean, me and Steve might have our own points list that we keep between ourselves, but that's just us.
You're in this too, Steve. Why are you encouraging 2D? I expected more from you.
Oh, don't go coming down on Steve.
It's called professionalism, 2D, okay? Professionalism.
I think that's called being uptight.
Well, if you're calling me uptight, then you're calling Susan uptight as well.
Well, she does the points thing with us too.
What? So I'm the only one out of this.
Well, we didn't think you would want to assign bonus points for hitting spectators.
That's just...
Do you want to assign points for hitting spectators?
I mean, I have to maintain my position here, so no.
Okay, then.
Whatever. Teddy Davis back out in front, being chased down by Marco Polo. Teddy gets some separation there. And this race is gonna go to Teddy Davis. Another quick time, 14.47 seconds. And that win is gonna send Teddy Davis on to the tournament.
Now, see, on Susan, Steve, and my scorecard, we actually would have had a tie
Your
here.
scorecard, all your scorecards are meaningless.
Okay, but it seems like it makes it more
We
fun.
have an official scoring system here already, and we are not awarding vehicular manslaughter.
Okay. Hey, Steve, you owe me $20 now.
Are you guys betting on the races too?
No.
HR is not going to be happy about any of this.
Well, you do know they let HR go because the safety fences.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so it's the Wild West around here now.
There you have it, the top 16 qualifiers. Teddy Davis qualifying in third place with that 14.24 second time. Very impressive. But Strong Solo is the driver to beat going into the tournament, the number 1 qualifier with that sub 14 second time. I can't wait to see him in the next round. Coming up next, it's time for the tournament rounds. We hope you enjoyed this race. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Until next time, I'm 3D Botmaker.
And I'm 2D.
And we'll see you on the track.